What's going on, everybody? This is your boy, the Sebastian Alexander Bonet.
Oh, hey y'all. This is Nehemiah. Good evening.
Good evening when y'all seeing it. So, we are coming by...
Is this live?
No, I'm just recording it. Loud, live, and in color. As our good sister T.S. Madison says, because we just got finished having a little friends night out, watching... Tyler Perry's Homecoming on Netflix. I guess it came out a day ago or 2 days ago. And I've been seeing like little bits and pieces on Facebook. People saying how they like it. And did he come out on officially come out, yada, yada. And so we're going to talk very briefly about...
I mean, we could talk longer, but God.
Okay. So long story short, I think our general consensus is that this is deplorable.
And you know, it is so it's so difficult for me to say this and to admit it, but it's the truth. And I love Tyler. I have a great deal of respect for him in him building the empire that he built, but oh my God.
I can't stand the nigga.
I'm not gonna say that.
We and so this is gonna be.
We disagree on that.
No, we had a conversation prior to this. Is that I respect his hustle. How he took something out of nothing and made it into, turned something out of nothing. Right. Mm-hmm. I applaud him for that. Right. But I've never liked Tyler, and this is the thing that has come up before. About a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, about his writing. He writes everything. He does not employ writers. He writes from his perspective. He is not.
And that is the problem.
Yeah.
When you are writing
everything,
you cannot have one perspective.
Or you can't have one perspective.
Not when it comes to dealing with a mass platform. You have a multimedia brand.
I agree, but that's why you have multiple writers in a writer room that come from different walks of life to write a cohesive story, because everybody's life is not the same. We're not a monolith, right. And so
you have a team to pull together a strong story.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
So my question is, why is he unwilling to do that? And I heard like some gossip in the news, but I haven't read up on it, that he was considering having writers. But I don't understand why he's so against it, because it really is just, it was so problematic on so many levels.
So
do you want to start?
Let's go from just beginning to end. So the biggest, not even beginning to end, we're going to just talk about like maybe three major things that stuck out to us, right? So this is apparently, based on Nehemiah, the first time that he has had a gay character.
Well, openly gay.
And to
actually talk about it.
About being right. In his movies,
he
right?
hired a kid.
Listen. So, in the beginning of the movie, I know I was under the assumption that Davi was his boyfriend.
Yeah,
how it was written, and now I'm gonna make this caveat. We always talk about how horrible Tyler writes, but maybe this one was possibly written masterfully. Now hear me out. In the beginning, how it sounded and how they were speaking and how their body language was to each other, we thought they were lovers.
Of course, that was the point.
We thought they were lovers, right? So they had that conversation, or what's the son's name? Timothy? What's his name? Tim?
Don't get me lying.
The black one, the dark skinned one.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
And a wonderful actor. I think he has, great potential.
Yeah, yes. So they were having that conversation, or he was having a conversation with Davi saying, I'm excited about you meeting my family, and this announcement about me being gay. It was interpreted as that was his lover, right?
Yeah.
We get to the house, and Uncle Joe is like, y'all remember Uncle Peaches and his 40-year-old roommate or 40-year-long roommate that started in the dorm? And it further solidified that thought that they were lovers.
Yeah.
When Aunt Bam came in and she was trying to get a piece, and Uncle Joe was like, Unbanned, remember Peaches?
So let me ask you a question. So he was never introduced by Timothy as his boyfriend?
Not to my recollection, no.
I kind of think he was.
It was just how it was, and that's why I'm going to. Maybe this one was written masterfully because he wanted you to think. Because Davi never said that they were lovers or together. He was just like, I'm very excited to meet your family.
But I love you too. You're my friend.
I love you. But do we not have straight friends that we say I love you to?
Child,
bullshit. No.
This was painted very strategically,
but that's
if
my
they
point.
were together.
But that's my point. That's
without ever saying it.
Right. That's why I think it was very masterfully done.
So now you don't dog this man for his rights.
Right now, listen. Now, this is what I was trying to tell you earlier. You said, no, don't tell me till we start recording, right? Because this takes a page out of the book of, I'm not sure if you've seen, but Queen Sugar this last season, where Charlie Bordelon West's son, Micah, has a best friend, like really close best friend, that is not gay, but they openly talk about their feelings for each other, loving each other, but not being in love.
You know,
a straight man and a gay man can have that relationship.
I'm not saying that you cannot have that relationship. You know, I have straight friends who I'm extremely close with, and I have had that type of relationship. I get it. However, this was written to make it very clear, in my opinion, or it made a very clear. It gave us a very clear-minded assumption that they were
together,
an item.
And when you assume, you make an ass out of you.
Because you know what? Going back at it, the boy never came out as gay.
He didn't. In that car ride, I love you. I'm here to support you. I can't wait to meet your family. We just assumed that he was gay.
So you mean to tell me all the time this was an old dumb little queen?
Well, that too. So let's get to the next part about it.
Right? But we can say that.
Yeah, right. So the next part about it that was the problematic part. And so it made it even more problematic, but now this may add a little softness to it, right? So when it came out that, and I told Nehemiah in the beginning, when all this going on, there's always a best friend in Tyler Perry plays. Something happens to the woman, there's a best friend. The best friend is always doing all his shit.
I don't even care about that part. That part was what it was.
Right, but I knew that was coming. Anytime there's a best friend, the woman is all. If you look at Why Did I Get Married?
That's what y'all do. Y'all sleep with each other friends.
That is just, I saw it coming, right? But, we couldn't figure out why Mama wasn't getting upset when it came out that he, the ex-husband, who, by the way, did y'all notice he had the fattest ass? I mean, need to watch that. Side note, bitch. That is an amazing documentary. There's unbelievably that side view, bitch. It was,
and I would have liked to have seen more body conscious clothing at the top.
Yeah,
because he was
extremely fit, but that ass, my God,
that is gorgeous.
Day.
It's ridiculous.
But we couldn't figure out why the mama was not getting upset about the husband being with the best friend. Then it came, and we couldn't understand, because you kept asking me.
I couldn't understand why the daddy, why the boy had to be with the dad.
Right, I couldn't.
I was like, this is odd.
Because we were still thinking that they were
to so he must have told the boy how much he was.
But see, right,
and that they were dating.
Right, but see, that's why it kept. We couldn't understand because we were still under the mindset that they were dating. They were an item.
Correct.
And I'm like, well, why are you beefing up to this to your boyfriend's daddy? It didn't make any sense.
Y'all made that boy look like a plum fool.
And then it comes out that Davy is dating the mama, right? Now we under the assumption like, well, girl, what kind of Jerry Springer shit is this? Because it's like the daddy is dating the best friend. Davy is sleeping with the mama and the son. And we like, well, girl, now come on now. I need answers. What kind black now side? No, black people don't do this. Now you don't sleep
That's
with.
a lie.
They sleep with that. They sleep with mamas and sons.
Listen, all of this stuff, trust me and believe, is real life content at some point that has come through this man's ears and knowledge.
Or life.
Yes, or life. I don't know, good, whatever.
Allegedly.
But it has come up. And so the content I think is very real. But like I said, it's pulling up just like when you say Jerry Springer, and again, I have a great deal of respect for Tyler Perry, but it is patronizing to the bowels of America, pulling it right on up and putting it right before your face. Because I have never experienced, I've never experienced this type of foolery. But it does make for good, it makes for good drama.
It was it
was a fool. I went through I was in tears. I was laughing. I was like, this is terrible. I went through all types of emotions. I was like, this cannot be real.
Right, but the emotions were not because it was masterfully done.
It was a fool.
That's why. There were times that we were listen, Nehemiah's on the couch, bitch.
That's the point.
I'm sitting right here on my computer editing work, my back to him. And girl, we hearing something on the TV, girl, we both make the same sound, bitch. I'm like, But it ain't even looking at each other, but it hit us in our core the same way. So this is the problematic part, right? Or problematic parts. So we initially thought that David was a bisexual, or Davi was bisexual, sleeping with the mama and the son. And we're looking like, well, why the son is not upset by this? Like the son just standing there like this, and it was just like,
And it was just what you said it was.
What?
The gay character Timothy was liking this boy and was hanging out with him, but they never were an official item.
They weren't. He was straight,
right?
But so this is the problematic part, right? There's a part where, and this is what I hate about some, because old people are not a monolith, but a lot of y'all niggas, old niggas, y'all give some of the worst fucking advice. And I hate to say it that way, our forebears and our great grandparents, some of the shit.
Of course. Because it was archaic it was right for that time. But now a lot of that stuff is archaic because you can apply it to today.
So you're saying it's okay to cause trauma for your child?
No,
not you. But that's what they were saying.
Of course,
it's okay to cause trauma and hurt. Oh, don't worry about what your son is feeling, long as you are happy.
They totally, and that's
what she said.
And that was very problematic for me because first of all, this was the first time that Tyler Perry broached the subject openly about a gay character in one of his films, and even yet he failed to fully build out this character.
Absolutely.
It was almost as if
I would prefer him not to do it.
It was almost as if like most people do when it comes to black families and people that are extremely religious, it's almost like you're just there.
Yeah.
Don't tell us nothing about you. We don't have you have no context, you have no depth. There's nothing to you except for you're gay.
Right. And
that was extremely disappointing.
Disheartening. The thing about it is too, so two things can be true. I appreciate how and quietly, honey, most times the parents, they be talking about this. I'm a child, he gonna be a little sissy, he gonna grow up a little sweet, whatnot. And I like the fact that they embraced him.
Right.
So two things can be true.
Wonderful. That part, yes, we have to apply. Because I was shocked. I was like, oh, like there were definitely moments where I was okay. You're embracing him. He's come out. You have affirmed him. You have accepted him. But then
two things can be true. You can be loving but traumatizing as well.
Right.
So this is what it was. So you're ultimately saying, yeah, we love you, yada yada, but fuck your feelings. That's ultimately what you said, because you as a parent did not think enough of your son, and I'm assuming only
so now
child.
There's another question: did the mom know that he was liking?
But see, I don't know he was like. Now, if we think about it, they were just really good friends. Like, you're sleeping with your son's best friend.
So you're saying even if it was gay or straight,
it is problematic because it was deceitful.
It's immoral as well. I think it's a bit immoral. No,
morals are objective.
No,
I mean, not objective, subjective.
You screwing your best friend.
Most people, but
you screwing your son best
girl,
friend.
that might be the norm for some bitches out here, girl. I don't know. We've seen Jerry Springer, but I'm saying it is deceitful. Because if I am a parent and I am sleeping with my son's best friend for 2 fucking years, and you don't say anything, yes, I'm mad with the best friend, but my loyalty is not to my best friend. You are my parent. You birthed me. So you can't tell me that you are dating, sleeping with my best friend, and then for Madea to say, go on, baby, be happy. You only get one love in this life. And when God, you so busy looking at the oak and you're missing the little acorns. So ultimately, you're giving advice. Fuck your son's feelings. It's all right that you deceived him.
And then the conversation never even happened between the mom and the son. And how do y'all never have a conversation?
How can you not get closure?
You love me, you support me, then we never have a conversation about this extremely huge, explosive.
That you blow, and then I'm supposed to be the big motherfucker at the graduation and say that my mother gave me. 2 things can be true. She did provide for me and give me everything that I wanted and I needed, but you caused trauma in my life that now I may have to unpack, or that it may resonate in me and manifest itself in different ways that now I have to seek therapy because of X, Y. 2 things can be true. It ain't either or. 2 things, 3 things can be true. Did Bill Cosby do great for the black family in the world? But I'm saying, I'm using that as an example. Yes, he showed black people in a positive light. He was a pioneer of television, showing progressiveness with black families on TV. Did he do what he did to those women? The evidence says yes. A great man on TV fucked up in real life. 2 things can be true. You get what I'm saying? And so you did, as Nehemiah said, you didn't flush out this character. You're dealing with everybody else's emotions and issues. Except for his. And when he wants to go talk to his mama.
Which in my opinion he is black and gay and a male.
Right.
A black gay man. You know how marginalized and how deep and how traumatic that is?
Right.
To exist in this world every day and to succeed. Now you going to law school and you...
And the thing about it is, when he wants to go confront his mother and have a conversation, it's like, the elder said that you go talk to your mama.
Yeah, like, it's okay. Like, mama, I still love you. Even though you beat me with bricks and shit.
Right. You let that man touch me. Right.
You still fed me though.
You let that man touch me in my private parts. Okay. It's all right. I ain't got my virginity no more. But you did right by me. You did right. 2 things can be true.
Right.
And so this is why
people have to face the demons.
Go dig deeper.
Yeah.
And don't it was a bit glossing over.
He glossed right over that.
I mean, yes. You make it
and really glossed over it. And we're coming to the end where the friend proposes for the 2nd time to the mom. And then remember the last time you saw Timothy, he did this. He was like, no, he had a face like this, he did. And rolled his eyes. That was the last shot you saw him. And it was pretty much as if it was like, oh, well, fuck me.
I've been there recently.
I've given my heart. I done spilled my guts.
This weekend was supposed to be about me and my accomplishments and my graduation, me being valedictorian. and y'all have stolen all of this
of that.
and have become it's amazingly how we normalize problematic behavior within the black community.
But the funny part is that this is art imitates life, life imitates art. This is very true. This is something that is very real. This is something that I have experienced. So it's very interesting that now, like, the very things that are experienced in life as a gay black man, like, the truth has been plastered. So this is the truth. This is what actually happens. Hello, hi, like, I'm letting you know I'm existing, I'm breathing, I'm alive. This is what actually happens.
And ultimately,
you're glossed over, and then you're supposed to be man the fuck up. You know, it don't matter. You know, move on. And that is very problematic. And you know, hopefully in the future, I think, you know, when
I have no hope for that.
I mean, I have hope because I think I have hope hopefully with conversations, maybe, you know, someone will hear. You never know. You know, I try not to, you know, dog people because, you know, like you said, there's a good and a bad to it. This was not so good.
It's not,
and
so
he definitely should have had, for him to have been broached, for him to have been speaking on and vetting out this gay character for the first time. I don't know who he consulted behind closed doors, or who he spoke to, or who was on his team that is a advocate for lesbian, gay, transgender,
the people been saying
community. I don't know. I don't know. But to me,
the people
if there is any type of consultation, if there is any type of conversation, it's definitely falling on deaf ears. So the proof is in the pudding, and I say that all the time. And it might sound simple, and, you know, country bumpkin and southern, but it's the truth. It's a southern euphemism, and it's so true. The proof is in the damn pudding, and the pudding don't look too good.
Listen.
And it don't taste too good either.
Listen. Tyler Perry is housed in the most populated black gay city probably in this good old universe. The kids have been saying, I don't know what that man get down doing, but we know he has a history of hiring the boys.
Okay.
If you look at all his stage plays and look at all his movies, I don't know what that man does. His sexual preferences, or my mind is saying proclivities. That ain't the word that I'm looking for. Sexual
proclivities.
There you go, girl. Bitch, I was trying to get it, girl. Sexual proclivities. I don't know. I'm not gonna make any assumptions, right? But to where you have the largest sound stage in the United States, probably in the world, right? You employ so many of all people of all walks of life, but I'm sure the kids, somebody could have advised you outside of the LGBTQIA Center in Atlanta.
But it has to be advice that you are looking for and that you are willing to hear.
I agree.
But you have to think about it. This man has hundreds of millions of dollars at his disposal,
and his shit stinks.
So the proof is in the pudding. So this is a prime example of when you are living on an ivory tower, whether you be white, black, or indifferent. If you are living on an ivory tower and are not willing to come down, and again, these are only assumptions.
I agree
but
with
the
you.
proof is in the pudding, and I can only imagine with the powerhouse that he is, he has a very select group of people that consults him, that he consults with, and it's a lot of. Listen, you have to think about. I'm thinking about the engine. Good, bad, or indifferent, or right or wrong. There is an engine behind all of it.
I get it, but my point being, I agree with everything that you said, and you have to be. And I guess that might be the point. He is not willing. We have had these conversations in the general consensus, especially amongst artists, right? About 2 years ago, I think when he put a tweet out.
All right, bitch, just wrap this
about I think this was the beginning of the pandemic, before the pandemic. He put a tweet out, and it was scripts on top of scripts on top of scripts on top of scripts, and the caption was something to the effect of, I write everything. Something to the effect, I write everything. I bust them out, yada yada yada. And people were like, "Well, that's why your shit stinks. That's why." And he said, "Oh, it said I don't have a writer's room. I write everything." That's what it was.
And of course he got criticized for it.
Hell yeah, most artists.
And I believe that the creative industry should criticize him, because you are, at the end of the day, a billionaire or a dollionaire. You are an artist, and any artist should be willing to stand up and to be critiqued about their work and their art, and we should hold him accountable.
But
so you're right. He should have, because it's like, how do you have a huge empire like this? I would not want to, personally, me as a designer, I would not want to, getting to that level, I would not want to be the sole one designing everything. Do you know, first of all, how exhausting that is?
Listen, he is peddling to his base. Just like Trump pedals to his base.
True.
Like every politician, they know what their base is.
Right.
And Lord, forgive me, y'all might hate. He pedals to the Christian uneducated. That's just what it is. Like, listen. And if you feel some kind of way about it, Nene said it best, bitch, a hit dog will holler. He pedals to his base. The only movie that I have ever loved of Tyler Perry was A Family That Prays. And I don't know if he even wrote all of that. That may have been co-written with Kathy Bates and Sanaa Lathan and Alfred Woodard, where you actually have legitimate stars, not one main star that people know, and then a whole bunch of no people that, I mean, you got to start somewhere, I get it. But if you look at his shows, nobody you'd have never seen before.
I've actually never seen any of his.
I wouldn't see any of his shows.
Any of his television. I watched the movie.
I've never seen Sisters,
there are
Have a Have Not
movies that he did that I actually think are good. Non-Madea movies.
The only other one I can possibly thinkly like, if I can remember, was Daddy's Little Girl.
Oh yeah, with Idris. Yeah,
I think that one was a good one.
You didn't like How Do I Get Married?
Now, yes.
Right. Come on.
But did he write all of How Did I Get Married?
Yes, that's him.
But
Why did I get married?
But I think a part of it is now. But now, with How Did I Get Married?
Why?
Why did I get married? How did I get married?
Yes, that's my fault. It's why did I get married?
Why did I get married? You know the reason, probably why I like it too? He had true actors that know how to look at the work.
That's also being a little bougie, because that's because you want to see names.
No, but with names come
wrap this up. We got 2 more minutes. You got 1 minute.
But no, sister. But with the name come experience. How long?
Does?
Who's that?
Sometimes people who don't, you will spit all out your nasty mouth. Let's wrap this up, because we was be this long.
It was, girl. Well,
with that being said, come on now.
Okay, but with those movies, you had name brand actors that had a wealth of experience from TV shows to other movies and other.
And all I gotta say, just because you're not name brand is not mean
but
actor.
I get it. But they are.
You could have been around for years. I see what you're saying.
Right, Meryl Streep didn't become Meryl Streep on her first movie.
Correct.
It's time and time. But anyways.
With all that being said, my takeaway is,
don't watch this nigga shit no more.
If you support his work, you support his work.
Uneducated.
That is who you are. I don't judge it, because, as I said, I do have a great
artist to be
for
judged.
Him, but I definitely think if Tyler is willing to expand beyond, his own writer's room, and even bringing in, more unionized creatives, I think it would do a world of good.
I would agree. And you could have cut that shit down. We talked about this earlier. That bitch was an hour and 47 minutes long.
This is it'll be 30 minutes.
No, not us. The movie.
Oh yeah.
The movie was an hour.
A lot of that content could have been chopped.
30 to 45 minutes. You talking about reusing lines from old movies and old stuff.
All right, y'all. Here we go.
Okay.
Good night.
This bitch ready to go, honey, because it is 10:50.
Good night.
Girl, it's 11:50, girl. It's 11:50. I got to be up because. But say good night for.
I already said good night. Good night. Peace.
Good night. Bye, y'all. Where do people can follow you?
Nowhere. Bye. Turn this curtain.
Bye, y'all.